The untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, this is what you've been waiting for. This is, in fact, what you've been waiting for. It's the unbiased, Gervonta Davis, Mario Barrios breakdown / prediction video. We got the fight coming up on Saturday, so we gonna give it to you guys raw and uncut, raw and rugged, and just talk about the fight. I won't be biased either way. I'll just give you guys my objective view of the fight. So this is a very interesting fight for a number of reasons. We'll start from the Gervonta Davis side of things. Gervonta Davis is someone in his career that, if we go back to his last fight against Leo Santa Cruz, he received a lot of criticism from boxing fans because he took a smaller fighter and dragged him up to, what was it, 130 or whatever, and he wound up decapitating him. And he's made a career of this out of fighting smaller guys like Santa Cruz, like Jesus Cuellar and guys like that. And he was even going to fight Abner Mares at one point before that fight got scrapped. So now he's doing the opposite. Now he's on the opposite side of the spectrum. Gervonta Davis is now fighting Mario Barrios, a big, strong, sturdy 140-pounder, and that's a big deal because I just met Tank for the first time. I didn't meet him, but I was in his presence. I saw him work out, and he's not that tall. Me and him, I'm not a big guy myself, but me and him are basically eye level. So for him to be fighting a guy like Barrios, it is a risk. I'm not gonna say it's not a risk, but I'll say it's a calculated risk because looking at Barrios, a lot of people who have been talking this fight up have been saying that, you can't call this fight a mismatch, nor can you call it a cherry pick because Gervonta Davis is going up to 140 and Mario Barrios is no joke. But I'll be honest, going back and just watching some tape on Barrios this morning, I had a chance to go watch, I watched a couple of rounds this morning of the Barrios Akhmedov fight. I was there when he fought Ryan Cowboy Carl. And I'll be honest, I think Barrios is a very entertaining fighter. He's going to be a good stylistic matchup for Tank because he's going to present Gervonta Davis a lot of opportunities to land hard shots and get in there and fight with somebody who's bigger. So that obviously makes it very intriguing. But I don't know and I don't get where everybody is saying that Mario Barrios is this elite fighter. Being honest, like I'm not hitting on him. Best of luck to him, best wishes to him. He seems like a good, humble kid from San Antonio, Texas. El Azteca is someone that I think will go in there and fight his heart out. But being honest, just looking at his overall fight game, I see a fighter that doesn't have the best jab in the world. I see a fighter that routinely gives up his size to get in there and fight smaller opponents. Instead of exploiting that height by using his jab, I see a fighter that, when he throws combinations, sometimes he has this tendency to drop his hands or his hand positioning gets a bit out of place. So because of these things, I really truly believe that Barrios is going to be in a dangerous, uncomfortable position in this fight because he just makes a lot of technical errors and he's never really been in a fight of this magnitude or anything close to it because Akhmedov was a good fight, southpaw, Olympian, not a bum or anything like that by any stretch of imagination. A good solid fighter, but he doesn't have the explosiveness, he doesn't have the power, he doesn't have what Gervonta Davis is bringing to the table. Nor the confidence of a Gervonta Davis and what he's bringing to the table. You see what I'm saying? So I really think that Mario Barrios, this fight is an occasion, and I won't write him off, but this fight is an occasion of a fighter that has to rise to the occasion because going through his whole career, going through his performances, his skill sets, what he's good at, what he's bad at, his strengths, his weaknesses, there's nothing that suggests that Mario Barrios is on the level of a Gervonta Davis. The only reason this fight is happening is because he just happens to have a version. He has the WBA regular belt at 140. So what Leonard Ellaby, Melee Promotions, and the fine folks over there are doing is by Tank Davis winning this, they're going to be conning the public. They're going to be saying, well, he won this belt So he's a 3-division champion because he won another random chicken when he fought Santa Cruz, or when he fought somebody else at 130. I can't remember right now. So they can say he's 3-division champion, and it makes Davis more marketable, and it makes him sound better than he really is. It makes him sound like he's accomplished more than he really has. Because truthfully speaking, if there was no belt involved, let's be real. If there was no belt involved with this fight, and we just looked at Mario Barrios for the fighter that he is, this is a cherry pick. This fight would be a straight cherry pick, because Mario Barrios doesn't really have any other than his size. There's nothing from a technical standpoint. There's nothing from a punching power standpoint that really gives me any reason to believe that he'll beat Gervonta Davis. And people want to go on. People want to say that this fight is interesting because of the size advantage. And honestly, I'm getting the same feeling I got this fight when Canelo fought Callum Smith. It was the same thing. Callum Smith was a fighter who was undefeated, just like Barrios. Obviously, he had some legitimate titles and was actually Ring Magazine champion, so I would say he was actually better than Barrios. But, you know, he was bigger than Canelo. People were talking him up. They were saying that the fight was interesting because of the size advantage. And I told you guys, no, it's not. It was one of the biggest mismatches of 2020 because Callum Smith isn't a fighter, despite his size and the size advantage. He's not a fighter that fights like a big fighter. And that is the thing in boxing. You could be a big fighter. You could be a tall fighter for your weight class. But if you don't fight in a manner to where you could consistently exploit that size advantage, then it doesn't matter. Your height advantage is null and void. And I really and truly believe that this is a similar case to that. Barrios is a big, strong, sturdy guy. I believe he'll come to fight. I believe it will be an entertaining fight. And I believe there might even be some instances in this fight where Barrios makes Tank look vulnerable. And maybe he catches him with some shots. Because I think Tank's going to go in there and trade with him. But that leaky defense, the fact that, you know, a lot of times, especially when he throws the right hand, he loops that right hand a lot. I definitely see Gervonta Davis catching him with something big, something vicious, something hard. And I believe that this fight will end in a knockout, and that's going to be my prediction. You know, this will not be a long drawn out prediction video because I feel very strongly and I'm very adamant about Gervonta Davis getting a knockout. So that's my prediction. Gervonta Davis will KO Mario Barrios in 6 rounds. Gervonta Davis KO 6 rounds. I'm talking about something devastating. I'm talking about something brutal. I'm talking about something very, very explosive because, you know, just look at the skill set. Look at how Barrios does good and what he does not so good. And just the press conference, he looked nervous as hell at the press conference. You know, I don't get the sense that we're seeing a guy that truly believes he can go in there and win. Not saying that he's got to go in there and be arrogant or be braggadocious or anything like that, but just from his body language to his weaknesses to his lack of big fight experience, I truly think this is a cherry pick, a straight cherry pick. I calculated risk from the Gervonta Davis camp because he has a belt. A version of a belt. He's bigger, so a lot of people are viewing this as a dangerous fight, but to me, I don't view it as a dangerous fight. It's just a very, very calculated risk. But I give Leonard Ellaby, many other promotions, a lot of credit because if Gervonta Davis goes in that performance how he should, he's going to get a lot of credit from the boxing world, and people are going to be looking at him in a different light. For me personally, the fight does nothing for me. I don't think Barrios is this great fighter, and the fact that people have to talk this fight up like it's a big fight, you know, they got to say things like, oh, well, you don't know boxing if you don't know who Mario Barrios is, and Mario Barrios is no joke. I'm not saying Mario Barrios is a joke, but he sure as hell ain't no creme de la creme elite top shelf fighter. I've watched enough Mario Barrios to know he is no creme de la creme top shelf elite fighter. He isn't. He ain't those things. You know, a lot of people thought he lost to Bakhtiar Akhmedov, and truthfully, I thought he lost to Bakhtiar Akhmedov. You know, Ryan Carl, I'm a big fan of Ryan Carl. I got lots of time and lots of love for Cowboy Ryan Carl because he's an entertaining fighter, and he gives us great television fights. But Ryan Carl is a C-class fighter, and there were pockets of that fight where he was getting his ass beat by Ryan Carl. So I really think Gervonta Davis is going to piece this dude up, and you know, if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong, as I've shown in the past, I've got no problems humbling myself. And if Barrios goes in there and has the fight of his life and beats Davis or even gives a good account of himself and makes it a close fight, but just loses, somehow, some way, then all credit to him. I'll give it to him. I don't got no. There's no reason for me to hate Mario Barrios. He's an entertaining fighter. He's stepping in there, one of the most explosive fighters and the hardest punchers pound for pound that this sport has to offer. So I can't say nothing bad about Barrios. I can't hate on this fighter. I wanted to go on there and I wanted to give Tank a good fight. And truthfully, I think it'd be good for boxing if he went in there and upset Tank. So, it'd be great. Shout out to him. Hopefully he goes in there and does San Antonio proud. Because I got a lot of love for the city in San Antonio. It's one of my favorite cities in America. And, I want to see him do well. But Mario Barrios, there's nothing that I've seen in his skill set, from his technical skills to his punching power to how he throws his punches, that makes me think he'll be Gervonta Davis, And we'll see, man. We'll see. Maybe, just maybe he goes in there and he shows us a different wrinkle in his game, but I don't think so. I think the fact that he doesn't have the big fight experience, coupled with the fact that he's fighting Gervonta Davis, along with the fact that he's got Virgil Hunter in his corner. I mean, look, Virgil Hunter, you guys know how I feel about Virgil Hunter. Virgil Hunter is the kind of trainer. He worked for Andre Ward, but he hasn't really worked much for anybody else. When he trained Dominic Brazil got fucking sparked by Deontay Wilder in 2 minutes against Deontay Wilder. When he trained Amir Khan, we saw that worked out. When he trained Fanfara, we saw that worked out. And Fanfara, and he gave Fanfara some of the worst instructions I've ever heard any trainer give a fighter in the corner. Fanfara got his ass dropped in a round against Adonis Stevenson, and Virgil Hunter told Fanfara to go out there the next round and not throw any punches. I think Mario Barrios is in over his head for this fight. I think he would have been better off fighting, anybody else at 140. Even a fight against like a guy like even like a Regis Prograis, I think would have been a safer fight for him. But with Gervonta Davis' explosiveness, his power, and what he brings to the ring, I don't see this going well for Barrios. And I think this is a case of matching a fighter too early before they have the experience. And I really think this is the kind of fight that if it plays out the way I think it's gonna play out, we're looking at Mario Barrios' career going down a very deep, dark, and uncomfortable path. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. Gervonta Davis, KO 6. I don't think it's a competitive fight, and I think it's a cherry pick from Gervonta Davis and a calculated risk from them. But again, it's no ill will towards Mario Barrios. I'm just being honest with what I see on tape and what I see in the ring. But that's my prediction. Best of wishes and best of luck to both fighters, especially Barrios, because I really think he's gonna need it. If he goes in there and he wins, I'll be happy for him. But he's gonna need it. So leave your comments down below. What do you guys think? Am I tripping? Do you guys think I'm being biased? I don't think I'm being biased, but what do you guys think in the comments down below? Make sure you take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just kidding from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys.